Hello there guys, my name's Gringel if you can't remember me, or for all those new ones, I used to do Modding Monday on the channel, the Evil Forum, and did it for the Evil Genius 2 Facebook group. I've got to admit, it's been a while since I've done a video. I got a bit bored. I've got a couple of days off uni, so I thought I'd treat you all to a video of some sort, since I haven't done anything, and nor have the other mods on the Evil Genius 2 page. But unfortunately, as you know better than anyone, and you know just as well as I do, that Evil Genius 2 is very unlikely to come out. Sorry, throat spasm. Evil Genius 2 is very unlikely to come out, and what's the point in campaigning when every time we do get a reply from Rebellion saying we don't have current plans, blah de blah de blah. Essentially, they've ruined the franchise, unfortunately. Could have been a fantastic game. The original creators could have marketed it a lot better. However, we're here today, playing Evil Genius, the game that we all love, and I shall start a new game because that's the way I roll. Easy, medium, hard. Let's go for easy because I can't be bothered to play much else. Maximilian, Alexis, and Shenyu. I never really play Alexis, really. Maybe I should one day. But today, I'm going to go for Shenyu. Shenyu's, I wouldn't say my favourite Evil Genius. That probably lies with Maximilian. Sure, I've just eaten a chocolate, and something didn't felt like something odd, so it's like shattered in my teeth, and I'm trying to pick out all the shattered parts. It's not shattered my teeth like, but anyway. Maximilian's probably my favourite because Jubai is a pretty awesome character. However, I'm not gonna lie, Lord Cain does actually bloody rock. Anyway, usual game starts off with 5 minions you can have. Usually put them up straight away. If you don't notice, one of my first Evil Genius modding Mondays was to do with this texture pack. It's called the Arctic mod, and I like it. It's really good. It adds something other than just orange. But each their own. If you've never played with mods, each their own. You might regret not playing with mods because some mods are fantastic, some mods not necessarily aren't. But never mind. Right. But into the game. First thing I generally do is just try and confuse the agents by making like an S shape, a reverse S, like a number 2, I suppose you could say. By doing that, I've always found that it does the agents' heads in eventually, and they return. Only when you get really into the game, when you've got all your veterans and stuff, that they start doing their usual business of, blowing up the entire base with guns, and it's freaking annoying. However, we're not at that part of the game yet. So, as everyone probably remember, the first part is the barracks. At this part of the game, I generally only put in 1 or 2 bunk beds because generally they don't really need them, and by the end of the game they don't need them at all really. But there are benefits to the bunk beds. For example, if your military minions have been on duty for a long time, they're obviously going to want to put their feet up, and that's the best way for them to regain their endurance, I believe. It's been a while since I've played, I've got to admit. If there's anything you'd like to see from this sort of I'm bored series, just let me know. Probably not many of you will watch it, but if you do watch it, just let me know. Don't feel obliged to like it, don't feel obliged to subscribe because I probably won't be putting up much. It's only just a bit when I'm bored. If you don't like it, tell me. Don't just leave a dislike and tell me, please at least tell me where I can improve. Probably you're going to say that I'm very monotonal, which is very true when I'm on a headset. I'm not too bad when I'm outside with my friends. We generally are quite, we generally do have quite a bit of a laugh, but it's quite hard to convey that when you're on microphone. However, um, as you can see, just putting in a load of lockers and a couple of beds should do for now. Next part I generally always find is to build another corridor, as you probably know yourselves. However, this corridor is going to be a trophy corridor. For all those that don't know and have never done a trophy corridor, basically throughout the game there are trophies that you can get from the domination screen, such as mats and totems and such like that. And if you place them here and here and have these slots here of the corridor, sorry, it allows the minions to walk around them and be influenced by the sphere of influence. So it's pretty good technique to make sure that your minions, when they are coming to the deeper parts of the bases from the lower parts of the bases, which generally they don't need to go into, but if they're coming back from a mission or your valets are out in the hotels, it's always good to have like a regeneration area, and this generally is it. So I usually put this deeper into the base, but there's no better time than the present to put one in. That should do for now. I've got a quick question for you guys. Have any of you got a Logitech wireless headset? Because as much as I've fixed it, my Logitech headset went disconnected from the wireless router, not the wireless router, the wireless receiver. So I've spent about an hour trying to fix that, and because I got the recoupling thing, but it wasn't working, even though it should technically be working due to the problem that it was the wireless headset was blinking green very rapidly, so that means that it was uncoupled apparently. However, I had to go through quite a lot of I had to press a couple of buttons, and I eventually pressed a load of buttons, turned it off, turned it on, and pressed the recoupling button, and it somehow worked. I don't know how, but never mind, beggars can't be choosers. For all those that have played Evil Genius, I'm going to keep saying that, but for all those that like to construct a big control room, I generally don't at this point in the game. I don't feel there's much need for it. I know that it helps having lots of control panels so that you can complete acts of infamy, but then again, I find it much easier when you've not got that many on, because at this point in the game, when you've only got about 40 minions and they generally low down the scale, you're not going to need many, and they're very easily replaceable. However, once you get to these level of minions, like your biochemist, your quantum physicist, your marksman, your karate master or judo master, whatever it's called, diplomat and playboy, they are quite expensive and to take a lot of time to regenerate. So you've always got to give the missions that they are on the best sort of chance of survival. So that's my reasoning, and generally that only comes in the second island, so each to their own. I generally don't. Whatever you do is your own initiative. At the moment there's not much to really make. There's a strong room, but I'm not going to make that just yet because I want some of the other rooms to become available, or maybe I need to plan out how my room's going to look a bit more, because what I was thinking was I could have this as the social area right next to this area and right next to the armory, so most of the minions will spend most of the time in this area. Easy if a minion is not a minion, a say super agent escapes, like Mariana Mamba. Hate that cow. Should she escape, very easy to get to her. I do have around about, I could go for 15 minutes, might not. I'm on 10 minutes at the moment. Just to remind everyone that's played the game all a while ago and may have forgot, this is the tutorial part. There is a tutorial level which you can play, which is relatively fun actually, I've got to admit, but this is a tutorial part of the main game. You can't be attacked by anyone. You can generate heat in a bit, which influences the next part of the game, unless you can sort of counteract that by just letting it die down over time. But there are objectives you've got to complete at this part of the game. So the first part, you've got to build a barracks. You'll need one bunk bed and one locker. Accident for me, you need at least one control console and one memory bank. And memory banks are another thing that I don't generally bother with. I know I'm probably going to get told off eventually, but it's not a problem for me. I generally don't use them. And we've got to eliminate some investigators. At this point in the game, you can eliminate them if you want, but it's kind of, like he says, it is kind of tiresome. Yes. It just causes the freezer to be unlocked. That's another point. The freezer wants to be as close to the entrance as possible, because most of your fighting is going to be done near the front. I generally have a small freezer at the front and then maybe a larger freezer at the back. Because if you've got a small, I generally try not to fight many of these agents, but the occasional time where you do have to fight them, so hopefully this should be sufficient. I could also put another one round here, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to leave that for now, guys. Let's have a look at Shenyu quickly. It's stupid laughter. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Green Joel / Nick, whatever you want to call me. I now go by the name Gradjoel from World of Warcraft. Yes, I'm that cool. I've changed my name by changing 2 letters. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, or at least are happy that someone's still doing something to do with Evil Genius. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye.